small towns to big city communities. They rally behind their high school football teams. Under those Friday night lights, the energy on the field and in the stands runs high. It's high impact with a high risk for injuries.
Injury risk in football is very high.
Dr. Olu Owaye is the director of the Translational Sports Injury Prevention Lab at St. Louis University, and that risk of injury is substantial across youth sports.
Right now, we know from research that ACL injuries and ankle sprains are the top on the list. The joint injuries, very devastating injuries are on top of the list. We also have hamstring strains also on top of the list. So if you put those three together, I think that's a huge problem. I mean, we can talk about the consequences of an ACL injury for the next 30 minutes.
SLU researchers say structured exercise-based interventions, such as neuromuscular training warm-up programs, can reduce injuries by about 60% across youth team sports, and they are underused by coaches.
Sports with the highest risk of injury, you talk about basketball, soccer, football, and volleyball. Football is like on top of the list.
He says that most middle and high school coaches don't know enough about injury prevention.
Understanding the sport and doing the right movements, having the right techniques, making sure they avoid the training errors, managing recovery.
So Dr. Olu Owaye is the project lead of a new clinical trial enrolling high school and club football coaches in Missouri to increase their knowledge of injuries and how to prevent them. It's called the MAP for Coaches Project. MAP stands for Musculoskeletal Athletic Injury Prevention Online Training Course. The goal is to enroll 500 youth football coaches for the pilot project. The idea is that the online training course will enhance a coach's understanding of football injury prevention to muscles, bones, and joints, as well as to enhance their motivation to apply what they learn to warm-ups.
On the best evidence for injury prevention in youth football, having the right warm-up, which we call neuromuscular training exercise, injury prevention warm-ups, before every practice sessions and every game sessions, possibly, to help prevent the injuries in football.
Study participants may be asked to watch a video that's less than 30 minutes, taking a survey before the video, then another survey after.
The intervention group will do all that. The control group will not have the video training before they do their post-survey. And that's how we try to separate the two groups. But they still get to have the training eventually.
So it's a win-win for coaches who join.
To explain to them how they can prevent injuries. And then we lay out all the injury prevention strategies that are out there based on current evidence.
This allows researchers to study if the online video training really works to reduce injuries on the field.
To help us tackle the problem of neuromuscular deficits in young players because they are not well built for the kind of exposure they're having in sports. So we expect them to play at the level of the NFL because people just want people to hit each other and have fun. You know, the audience wants to have fun. You know, but the truth is these kids are still growing. Injury prevention in youth football fill the gap of the deficits that these kids have, and essentially it trains the muscles and the nerves and the brain to communicate efficiently, such that they move in the right way. They improve their local tissue strength to be resilient to impact forces when they play sports.
SLU researchers and collaborators are also planning a Phase 2 clinical trial that will follow coaches into the football season to evaluate if the proper warm-ups were used and if the players' injuries were less. Coaches who are interested in participating in this research study may visit the MAP for Coaches website, mapforcoaches.net. The study will eventually recruit coaches in the other 3 sports with high risk for injuries.
What scientists have done is to incorporate specific movement patterns into the program to simulate what they're going to be doing when they start the game or the practice or the scrimmage.